What is up, guys? I wanted to make this video as a quick update, but also I'm going to cover a couple of news articles or news topics or whatever. But if you stay until the end of the video, there's some updates I want to share with you guys. But first up, I want to talk about three different type of news articles, and the first one is GTA 5. Their multiplayer trailer came out, and I did not watch it. And I'll explain why later in the video, but basically I'm not a big GTA guy, and I didn't watch it, so I don't have much to say about it. I heard it's amazing. GTA 4 has looked fun to watch on YouTube, but personally I'm not into GTA. I'm sure GTA 5 will be great. I might end up getting it later on. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. Next up is the Call of Duty multiplayer premiere. A lot of big games showing off their multiplayer apparently, because that's pretty big. Call of Duty, as most of you will probably know, is one of the biggest games out there, one of the biggest reveals, one of the most important reveals in gaming, really. And yeah, so they had their multiplayer premiere. And while I don't really play Call of Duty anymore, Call of Duty to me is interesting in the design side, basically. So everyone who plays Call of Duty has their problems and has their solutions. And I don't think people realize that it's not as simple as like, well, I think this would work. This obviously would work for, millions of people. It just doesn't work that way. Just because, if you feel Ghost is too strong, taking away a certain thing may make it too weak and it gets unused and something else becomes overpowered. There's a lot of things like that that I think people just don't notice, and I always find it interesting to see how these developers change the game so that it fixes problems without creating new ones, really. And this year was no different. A lot of people like run and gun, and so that was one of the things they focused on. But the first thing first is they allowed for customization on your character, and the big one is making female characters, which to me is actually pretty cool. It's a little late. I don't know why it hasn't been in there yet, but it makes me think that maybe something is going to go on in the single player. I know they're trying to evolve the single player as well this time around. Multiplayer doesn't seem too big, like they don't seem to try to change too many wheels or gears or anything like that, but they did change a few things. One of the few things is that they brought over Black Ops 2 Pick 10 system a little bit and tweaked it. Instead of picking 10 from including all of perks, all of weapons, attachments, secondaries, grenades, all those kind of stuff. I said perks already. They decided to only do it on perks, I believe, which I believe is smart because I've always wanted to, I don't mind switching off some points in, running without a primary and making it only secondary. But in Black Ops 2, it was like, if you don't run a primary, you don't make up for it by, getting, more perks. Because you can get the same amount of perks you do with a primary compared to a secondary. Because primaries cost the same amount as a secondary. So it's like, it's just everyone ran without a secondary and then picked up a secondary primary, basically. So that was kind of dumb to me, but they changed it a little bit. It's going to be all perk wise, and there seems to be a lot more perks, or at least a couple more. No, there's a lot more. And it's interesting. I didn't watch the whole thing. I know they talked a few other things about like destructible environments, and there's just a lot of things. They mess with the prestige a little bit and all this kind of stuff. It's always fun to watch. It's always interesting to hear, but until it's actually put into the hands of millions of people, we'll finally know if it's really good or not. But yeah, so that's Call of Duty. I might put a link, I don't know, into the description to see if we can find it. Next up is League of Legends, or the LCS NA for me. I don't really watch Europe or the Korean League. I'm trying to watch Korean League, but I don't know when they go on or anything like that. I don't know exactly what the schedule is. It sounds like they're gonna play the playoffs during PAX, which would be fun. But basically, I started watching League of Legends like a month ago, maybe a couple of months now, and the LCS is kind of interesting because it's teams like a sport would be, but it's also like built like a sport. Like there's a season. They call them splits, but there's a season where you're playing against the teams. You get records, and the records are all you go into the playoffs, determine on the records and stuff like that. And it's even more interesting because amateur teams can actually rise up from the grave basically, and beat out some of the worst teams in that previous season. And it's kind of cool. I really like watching it. League of Legends is kind of fun to watch, which is surprising because I always said that fighting games are probably the best spectator sport in terms of video games, but League of Legends is the biggest one. And the reason I say that is because fighting games is very easy to tell who's winning, and they're short. Compared to League of Legends, which it's not exactly clear who's winning. You can see who has the money lead, you can see who has the kill lead, but those don't always, equal the same thing. And it's hard to tell who's exactly winning in real life or whatever. But yeah, just wanted to kind of mention that I'm a kind of a TSM fan, I guess. I just started watching, so I'm not gonna plead like I'm a big fanboy or started it, but basically I watched the Odd One. Like when I started watching League of Legends, Odd One was streaming. He was explaining like what he was thinking, and I thought that was cool. So they just kind of became my favorite team. But yeah, that is it for the news articles. GTA 5 premiere trailer, Call of Duty announcement, and then of course LCS, League of Legends. Probably the three biggest games out there right now. Well, GTA 5 is maybe not that big, but okay. So last but not least, I want to talk about my stream. So I don't think I've ever really made a video about this specifically. I have the links in the description, but I do stream on twitch.tv, and the link is twitch.tv/ChainedSniper Live. I did used to stream at Nice Tactics, which I think I need to fix that in the descriptions now. But now I switched over to ChainedSniper Live because I'm kind of rebranding myself. Also, I don't have a website yet, but I'm going to be switching from Nice Tactics to just ChainedSniper.com probably. I also have a Twitter, twitter.com/ChainedSniper, and of course my YouTube, which is youtube.com/ChainedSniper. And the reason I'm changing actually is because there is a youtube.com/NiceTactics, which isn't me. So I decided, might as well change. This is where I'm kind of more branded, so I went with that. And the reason I brought this up is because Saints Row 4 is actually coming out the 20th at probably around midnight or so. And I decide that I'm probably going to stream as soon as it comes up. Hopefully I'm not too tired, but I love Saints Row. I love it more than GTA. I picked up Saints Row 1, I enjoyed it. I didn't know about GTA that much. Picked up Saints Row 2, loved it even more. Saints Row 3 is a very good game. And I just never really had a reason to play GTA 4 or 5. I played San Andreas, didn't really like it when I played it. Might have been too young, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys about all my other links that you guys may follow me at. I'm going to try to tweet more. Hopefully some interesting stuff comes out of my mouth, I don't know. But yeah, so Saints Row 4 stream, August 20th at midnight at twitch.tv/ChainedSniperLive. Please join me if you want to and like Saints Row 4 but maybe can't buy it or whatever. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. Adios.